Hi, this is Reporter's Take. I'm Sakshi Batra and I have with me my colleague Priyanka Sahay, and we are here to talk about the proposals that have been made by the consumer's body for the upcoming e-commerce policy, and these have been made to the DIPP. Thanks very much, Priyanka, for joining in. Now, we know that DIPP is working on the e-commerce policy, and it has been receiving a lot of recommendations, be it from the industry leaders as well. And also now we hear the consumer's body has made some proposals. What are those proposals really?
So, well, Sakshi, as you would understand, what impacts a consumer the most is when he or she is paying money and not getting the right product.
Absolutely.
And we are coming to the fact that counterfeit and fake products are a big menace for the online ecosystem, and the consumer group has gone ahead and requested, the government has demanded strict measures against the sellers and marketplaces who are actually promoting or are involved in this business, and this is what they've recommended to actually be included in the upcoming e-commerce policy.
Right.
As part of the recommendation, they've also stated that any product that is actually proven to be counterfeit should be removed from the website within 12 hours of the complaint. They've also sought for legal details of the seller which has been selling on a marketplace. This will also include any contact detail of the seller, so that the consumer can directly approach the seller and try to have a conversation as to what has been going wrong with the product. Besides this, they've also recommended or have requested the government to ensure that the trademark owner should also be brought online, so that any complaint that a consumer wants to make can directly go into the ears of the trademark owners.
And absolutely, an early detection can happen, and therefore an early resolution can also take place. So strict measures is what the consumer's body is demanding for the counterfeit products. But to understand better, how big a menace is counterfeit products when it comes to online e-commerce?
It's actually a big menace, Sakshi. Especially, let me give you some facts here. So, according to a recent survey which was done by local circles, 1 out of every 5 products that are actually sold are counterfeit or fake in nature.
That's shocking.
That's a huge number actually, and we'll have to understand that this impacts millions and millions of customers.
And this is across categories.
This is across categories, and just to give you some basic details, even within all the categories, fashion is one segment which is mostly impacted by this, and within fashion, the 2 sub-segments are cosmetics and fragrances. What usually happens is that these are the segments which are based on the usage of a consumer. So consumer will never get to know whether or not it was fake in nature until unless you've bought it and consumed it or used it.
Absolutely.
So it's a very gray area and a thin line wherein you can figure out whether or not these are fake products.
Absolutely, and this is the area that we have been finding even in offline retail. If you see the fashion brand or the beauty products, maybe even fragrances, these are the ones that are easily counterfeited, and that is the problem that we have been facing even in the offline retail. But what is the kind of impact that we have seen on the e-commerce companies of these counterfeit products?
So, well, I would say that none of the marketplaces are actually aloof, or are actually, we can say that they are completely free of any of these practices. The reason being that in India, FDI is not allowed in inventory-based business in the e-commerce sector. Now, the model through which the marketplaces run is by having independent sellers on their platforms. And these sellers could either be retailers or individual sellers who are procuring their products from OEMs or other brands. So it's a very sort of fragmented sort of an arrangement, and it's very easy to slip in a fake product through this mechanism. There's little that marketplaces can do at this point in time to control the nature of the products that any of these sellers actually go ahead and sell online. But having said that, I'll take you to one of the cases that is like fresh in my mind. There's this French cosmetic maker, which is L'Oreal, actually went ahead and filed a case against Shopclues for selling fake L'Oreal products on its website, and to the extent that in a recent judgment, High Court, the Delhi High Court has actually gone ahead and stated that the case is right, and it has given its verdict in the favor of L'Oreal.
All right, so that is a case in point. But going forward, Priyanka, do you expect some of these recommendations to make its way in the upcoming e-commerce policy, and how soon can we expect the policy now?
So, well, Sakshi, as we learned from our sources, the policy is pretty much up there. A draft has been prepared. However, given the fact that it's an election year, the government is trying to figure out whether they'll be coming up directly with the policy, or they'll first release the draft and then sets it for maybe a consultation for the next 10 to 12 days. Given that by March the election dates will be announced,
Sure,
and the code of conduct will be implemented with an immediate effect,
yes,
it's a very I would say it's uncertain, and we don't quite know as to when exactly the e-commerce policy will be out. Whether or not this will be included in the policy, we'll have to wait and watch for that, because as far as we learn currently, this might not be there in the draft policy
Okay,
which has been prepared.
right. Thanks a lot then, Priyanka, for sharing all those details over here. But for now, we do not know whether these recommendations will be included in the upcoming e-commerce policy. But for sure, this is a matter of concern, and not just online e-commerce companies and the brands that own these real products or authentic products, but even buyers and consumers are really badly affected by counterfeit products for sure. Thanks very much for joining us in this edition of Reporter's Take, and do stay logged on to moneycontrol.com for more news and updates. Thanks for watching.